In this video, we will show you how to make a cutlery holder decorated with a cutout leaf with Tulle Appliqué. Are you looking for a unique decoration for your Thanksgiving dinner table? Let's create this cutlery holder. The design is approximately 11 by 12 centimeters, but we will need an area of 13 by 14 centimeters, including the seam allowance area. So, let's start by selecting a suitable hoop. We will start by creating a rectangle to define the working area. Set the size to 11 centimeters in width and 12 centimeters in height. Place it at the center of the axis. Remove the fill and then right-click and use the option Use Shape as Work Area to make it our work area guide. For this occasion, we want to use a leaf shape, so let's open Clipart Library and search for a leaf. For this video, I'm using Floral Leaf 01. Click and drag to define the size and orientation of the leaf. We want the total width of our leaf to be about 9 centimeters. So, ungroup the leaf, add an outline color, and remove the fill. Move the stem away for now. We will place it properly later on. Now, select the leaf and using Break Apart, separate it into sub-objects. Then, using the node editor, we will split the outline of each part of the leaf to make this center line separate. Now we will use Break Apart for each sub-object and then remove the center line. Let's join these two halves into one, so select them and use the Combine option. Now, using the node editor once again, we will close the outline. We want to keep the outer shape of the leaf, so we will create a duplicate to which we will set another color so that we can easily tell them apart. Now, select the center line and use the auto border to create 2 repetitions of the line at a distance of 1.5 millimeters from either side of the line. These lines will be used as guidelines to cut the leaf shape, leaving this 3 millimeter area in the middle intact. Select one line along with the leaf shape, right-click, and use the knife option. Repeat for the other line. Delete the middle part. Now we have 2 leaf sides, the line in the middle and the initial leaf shape. These 2 leaf sides will be the cutwork part of the area, which will be cut and replaced by tool. This can either be done manually or by using special cutting needles on the machine. We will show you how to use a special cutting needle set. Users who will cut out manually must cut a little to the inside of the red running line. If you use cutting needles, then you should combine these red leaf areas so that all cutwork is one part. So select both sides and combine them. Then set the outline type into cutwork. We will enable running before so that a running stitch goes first to stabilize the fabric before the actual cut. And we'll set this line offset by 1 millimeter. Now we will select this green line and bring it to the front of the design. This line will come after the cutwork or the manual cut to hold the tool in place. We will also use the Auto Border tool to create a copy of this line 2 mm to the outside so that the tool is fixed slightly outside the cutting line. Delete the original as we don't need it anymore. Now we will use the Outline Shapes tool to create some decoration for the tool area. We will create these parts to look like the primary veins of the leaf. And then some smaller ones branching out from the central veins. I will select the secondary and primary veins and use break apart so that they all are separate objects. I will also bring the mid vein to the front of the design as I want those on top of the veinlets. Now, set the primary veins to satin serial and the outline width to 3 mm. Likewise, I will select all veinlets, set them to satin serial, and I'll set the outline width to 1.5 mm this time. Now, in order to fine-tune the leaf veins, I will select them all, right-click, and choose the Convert Outline to Object option. In that way, we can fine-tune their shape using Edit Nodes mode. We can do so for all veinlets. Let's set some colors. Now, select the middle line and create a duplicate. Bring it to front using ordering options. Set its type to satin serial and the outline width to 4.5 mm. Select the leaf shape and create a duplicate. Set it to satin serial and the width to be 3.5 mm. Set the offset to -1 to make sure that the cut line is covered. Again, bring that to the front of the design, since we want it to be on top of everything. Finally, place the stem in place and fine-tune its shape. Our leaf is done, so now we can use the lettering tool to add any message we like. Set a color for the lettering part and fine-tune its position. Finally, we will create a rectangle shape, remove the fill, and set its width at 13 centimeters and the height at 14 centimeters. This one is the final cut line, which also includes the hem allowance space. Before proceeding, make sure you check the embroidery sequence and fix anything you may not like. Click on Auto button to disable the automatic sequence. I'll move the stem to the end with all the other satin bars. Move the main branches lower in the embroidery sequence. Move the outer running line at the end. Take your time to fix the embroidery sequence if needed. Using the slow redraw, you can review the sequence. As you can see, first comes the running stitch that stabilizes the fabric before the cut. Then comes the actual cut. And now it's time to put the tool in place for the running stitch to secure it. Then we have the decorations on top of the tool. And finally come the satin bars, the lettering part, and the outer line. Now the design is ready, so let's embroider it. For this project, we will need one piece of linen fabric for the embroidered pocket, a small piece of tulle approximately 10 centimeters by 7 centimeters, 2 pieces of linen fabric 13 centimeters by 14 centimeters, stabilizer and water-soluble stabilizer. We also need a hoop, the cutting needles, unless you're cutting manually, assorted threads, and adhesive spray. Spray the stabilizer with the adhesive spray. Place the fabric on top and press together firmly. Put both into the hoop. Load the design. Attach the hoop to the machine and start embroidering. The first part is the running stitch that will stabilize the fabric and indicate the area that is to be cut. If you're not using cutwork needles, cut the fabric inside the stitches. For those using cutting needles, now is the time to change the embroidery needle with a cutwork needle. Remove the embroidery needle carefully and insert the tip of the black cutwork needle into the cutwork needle holder. Make sure that the flat side of the needle faces the needle clamp. Press OK. And then press the start button to start cutting. Each cutting needle cuts at a different angle, so you're next prompted to change to the blue cutwork needle. Substitute the needle with the blue cutwork needle and proceed. Keep going with the needles until you're done. Once the cutwork is finished, detach the hoop and remove the cutwork from the fabric. Trim any excess fabric if necessary. Now, spray the water-soluble stabilizer with adhesive spray, place the tool on top, and press firmly so that they stick together. Spray the backside of the hoop with adhesive spray, and place the tool and the stabilizer. Secure the tool and stabilizer using pins or paper tape. Make sure the pins do not harm your machine. Place the embroidery needle back to the machine. Attach the hoop to the machine and press start. First, the software places a running stitch to secure the tool on the fabric before embroidering all decorations on top of the tool. Continue embroidering while selecting the appropriate thread colors according to your design until it's done. Before the outer line is embroidered, which is actually the cutting line, it's better to remove the pins. Now that the embroidery part is done, remove the hoop from the machine. Remove the fabric from the hoop and cut the pocket following the guide stitches so that you will be left with a rectangular piece of 13 centimeters by 14 centimeters. Carefully cut or remove any excess stabilizer by hand. Use water to remove the water-soluble stabilizer and let your design dry thoroughly. Iron the pocket using a piece of fabric on top to protect the tool from the heat. Fold the top side of the pocket by 1 cm to the back of the fabric and top stitch the edge. Mark 13 cm from the bottom of the front linen piece. Place the pocket on top and secure its top area with pins, making sure the bottom edges align together. Place front and back linen fabrics right sides together. You may use interface for a sturdier result. Make sure that you leave an opening about 6 cm on the top of the cutlery holder. Sew all around, leaving 1 cm seam allowance. Trim the corners. Use the opening to turn right sides out. Use a pointed tool to shape the edges. Iron the cutlery holder flat, making sure to press the seam allowance of the opening to the inside. Close the opening with a ladder stitch or adhesive hem tape. Our Thanksgiving cutlery holder is ready. It's fun to make, so you can easily embroider a set of them to add a special touch to your Thanksgiving dinner table, or customize each one with your guest's name, turning it into a thoughtful party favor. Happy Thanksgiving!